Hi. Okay, so tonight I would like to speak a little bit about birthday, but I want to talk more about the experiences that I've had, especially with my 3-year-old. At the time she was 1. Well, started from the time she was 1, and then around about age 2, she had some experiences, and I'm gonna tell you a little bit about that. First of all, I'll try to make this video as short as possible. I'll try. Um, Sometimes if I seem to wander off where I'm thinking, it's only because I haven't really rehearsed what I want to say. I'm basically saying this off the top of my head. Um, when I do try to rehearse anything to say before I say it, I never really do follow through exactly the way that I plan to say it. So, here we go. Okay, birthdays. As we know it, most of us don't know it, but for those who do know that birthdays are satanic, and the reason why they are satanic, I just want to mention firsthand, I'm just going to get it out the way. Anton LaVey, the Satanist, Caucasian looking guy with beard, black beard, bald head, wears the black cape and all, wardrobe and all. Um, he, in his book, said that, sorry, said that birthdays, not exactly quoting, but speaking from what I know of it, birthdays are celebrating one's birthday is the Satanist, highest among all holidays. You know, worshiping one as a god. Okay, worshiping one as a god. So it's all about yourself. All right. First of all, that's what it's about. And what happens is when we teach our children to do these things from age 1 and up, from first year and up, they have no understanding of those things. Their mind is innocent and learning and haven't come to yet. Their brain doesn't fully mature until uh, not fully mature. I'm getting it wrong. They um, you know, they still go through these stages from ages 1 through 5 where their brain is maturing, and their skull closes up, to protect their skull. And and when we introduce them at a very young age, way too soon, before they could even understand what mama, dad probably mean, or know what a pacifier really is, or or learn a word or so, just saying, before babies could really know much, or have understanding of anything. We introduce these demonic rituals to these kids, and they don't understand. A lot of times we don't even explain to our kids what we're getting them into before that time comes. They may hear, "Oh, your birthday coming up, we're gonna do this and do that," but they don't know until they experience it. And then when they get into the experience, they're looking around like, uh, they really have no idea. Put a cake in front of them with candles lit. Some kids might freak out because they don't know what the heck is going on. See fire, of course. Or some kids just sit there and go along with it. But the reality is they have no idea, and then we put these things in front of them as if they are innocent, and really they're not pleasing to the Most High. No matter how you try to dress it up or put it or explain it or whatever, you can't say that you're giving it up to the Most High, because he despised those holidays. He despised man-made traditions. um they're like a bad taste in his mouth, stench up his nose. uh However, they're disgusting to him. They're abominable, abomination to him. So anyway, um, lighting the candles on the cake, normally a round cake. When a child gets a first year birthday cake, they get the free birthday cake of the first year, and it's round. It's always made small and round. That's traditional. Okay. Any other cake that you get, square, rectangle cake, or whatever, that's what people do to have on the side for other people, depending on how many people they're inviting, to have more of the cake, and they let the baby have their first year round circular cake to play in and eat. And they have the one candle in the middle. They light that up, and you know, pagans, people who aren't of the Most High take certain things, certain original things, and pervert them. Okay, they light the candle and they believe that the prayers, their wishes, I say, their wishes would, when they blow out the candle, they make a wish and then they blow out the candle, and then the smoke of the candle that been blown out will raise up and take the wishes up. Okay, because when they wishing, what they're wishing on, they're wishing upon a what? Star. Okay, and the star is where? Up there. And then, they blow it out and the smoke supposed to take it up there, or, you know, may not be explaining very well, but I hope that you understand it, or hope that you're getting the message. So anyway, when you do that, you're passing your children through the fire. It's symbolism. It's not literal when you do it that way. It's symbolic. But in scripture, it was real. They literally passed their children through the fire, and they didn't just do it for no reason. They were mentally insane. They were fully aware of what they did when they passed their children through the fire. They did it for a particular purpose. Okay, there's always a purpose behind everything. They don't just do it for fun. Oh, we're doing birthdays because it's fun. It's for the kids and everything, and blah blah, and let them have fun. But then where this originate from? When they did this back then, they wasn't saying, oh, we're just doing it for fun and blah blah. They did it for a reason, and they did it. They sacrificed their children, they're passing them through the fire for their reason, for their purpose. They had their wishes. They had their wishes. Okay, they wanted granted, and or they sacrificed for whatever the reason was, but it was for their own selfish reason. That's why they did it. And so this is the same thing. Even in our minds, we may not look at it that way because we look at it as innocent, but we're doing it ignorantly. We're doing it ignorantly. So back to what I was getting to. I'm gonna try to cut it short. I'll try to make it less than 30 minutes. Okay. My daughter, my baby girl, my mom, before then, a long time ago, years ago, when we celebrated these pagan holidays and birthdays, my mom collected images, pictures, of good times and stuff. Okay? And she kept them. I didn't keep things like that. I got rid of them. My mom don't know what all I get rid of when I'm converting. She, I may not tell her everything. We share a lot of things, but anything spiritually, I don't tell her everything that I do in my life based on the things that I need to do is best for me and my kids spiritually, because that's a personal thing. We don't supposed to. We can share our testimonies on things, but we don't just go and, oh, I did this and I did that and brag about it. No, we're not supposed to do that. But anyway, and that's between you and the Most High. That's your doing. But anyway, she kept images and put a video together. She told me she put a nice video together. Now, I wasn't so sure what kind of images, and she did say, let me know it's nice images back then. I didn't think about what kind of stuff probably been on at the time. So anyway, she gave it to me, and I wasn't in my right mind or focused at the time to question what is on the video exactly, what kind of images exactly are on the video. Because in my mind, I'm looking at, okay, they know that I don't do these things. They wouldn't give me something that's pertaining to those things that I gotten out of my life, gotten rid of out of my life. I didn't think about that. I was, in my mind, I'm just expecting anyway. So when I received that video, homemade video, it had a combination of things on there. It had images of birthdays, that we celebrated a long time ago, but no longer celebrated them over. That was like about 2 years at that time. It's like a year and a half, 2 years at that time since we. No, it was a year and a half since then. At that time, we have not celebrated. So anyway, there are images of my daughter's birthday, my oldest, and we did the fairy tale thing with her, Beauty and the Beast, cupcakes and the balloons and everything. And I was pregnant with my second. When I had my second, then it was her turn. Um, this is right before those images were taken of a birthday before I knew better, before I actually knew how serious it really is to not celebrate those things. And um, so we took images of her, looking at her gifts, images of her eating, her blowing out her candle, eating the cake, or digging in it, playing in it, and eat, stuff like that, and opening her gifts and dancing and stuff like that. So we had images of that. We also had other images. There were some innocent images in there. Other times of her being with her family members, her little cousins and everything. And then there was other parts along the way in the video. The video had been like an hour long or so. There were other parts in the video where there were other family members that had images taken of celebrating Halloween, Easter, and stuff like that, in their costumes, and New Orleans on the family reunion trip that me and my family did not go to. We didn't go. Could have probably made a way to go, but we didn't even try because I guess it's just my theory in my head, but just just knowing where they were going, what part of New Orleans they were going, you know, um, for the for touring, you know, sites and stuff were at. I really didn't. Plus, it was going to be on the Shabbat too when they did all those activities, and my kids would feel left out going on a trip and not be able to enjoy being with the family. So we didn't go for numbers of reasons, and it wasn't that we didn't love them enough to want to spend time with them. Just couldn't do that. So that was also another reason why we couldn't do it. So there were images of those things, and that was taken. We didn't pay much attention to everything because that was my first time seeing a lot of those images, on the video. I haven't seen them before the video. So as we watched the video, we would see images in the like background images or things that took pictures with or next to that were demonic, like right in our face, demonic. It was like, oh my goodness. But we were alarmed, but we also took into consideration to know that, okay, well, my mom was focused more on the people in the images, not the background and everything else. When you're in the world, you look at everything as common and normal, it's no big deal or what all. You don't really pay attention to what's demonic and what's not. But when you come to and you come out of it, the Most High, the Holy Spirit, actually, Ruach HaKodesh, actually informs you and let you know it's not right with your spirit, which the spirit that dwells in you is of the Most High, doesn't agree with. And you discern it, and you stay away from it. You look into it, so you be for certain, like, hey, no, that doesn't feel right. There's something wrong there. Other things I want to say about this, that my baby girl, who was about 2 at this time when this video came into our home as a gift, she was frightened. She was frightened of the images of her during the birthday. She wasn't present when my oldest had her last birthday. But when afterwards her experience, her first time having the experience of having her first year birthday, and then rewatching those images of the time that she experienced having a birthday, she was terrified. And I was like, well, maybe she's not used to the video. Maybe she's not used to seeing herself in the image. Maybe it's the song on there, but it had nothing to do with the song. The song was innocent. It was actually the song that I played to her as a lullaby. But it kind of messed me up a little bit too, because I thought, wow, I probably won't be able to play that song anymore if these images during the time that on the video that the music is playing, it will probably mess with her mind, and bring those the memory up of those images if I play that song on my computer again. So anyway, she would be terrified. She would see herself with the cake, blowing out the candle, playing with it and all. She would be terrified of it as if it was a horror movie. I mean, we don't watch horror movies at all. Only movies I have in here, which I barely have at all because we really don't watch TV, is kiddie movies. And they're innocent kiddie movies. I'm very, very cautious of what my children watch, especially a lot of symbolism and all in these movies and stuff that they be having. We have no Disney, no none of that. Just pure innocent, stuff. Innocent as possible and healthy for my kids spiritually. Um, so she haven't been introduced to any scary stuff, nor do we, talk about them in our home. I refuse to put any fear in her in that way. But even though as young as um, she is getting a bit of understanding of that there are such things as demonic spirits. But I tell her what we should stay away from to avoid getting or attaching ourselves to demonic spirits. So I know it may seem too young to talk, but I talk to the child that young about that. But I know my daughter, she conversates with me. She asks me questions just like as if she's of age, as if she is like 5, 6, 7 years old. So I have no problem in explaining to her as simple as possible and keep it and minimize what I explain to her because I don't want it to affect her mind in a negative way, because she's still immature. Long story short, in the other parts of the videos, she would not be terrified of them, except for maybe the Halloween. Any demonic celebrations that was put of images that was put in the video, yeah, she would freak out with those too. But any other parts that's innocent, where she's spending time with her family, her little cousins, or she's seeing other images of her little cousins and other little clips of videos of her little cousins playing games, she enjoys. She dances to it. She play. She danced to it, sang a song to it, whatever, and watch them. The images of them. But half of the whole video, which lasts maybe about an hour of it, she could barely enjoy it, and it didn't matter if I replayed the video again. She would react to the same thing over and over and over. Now, she did get used to the video eventually, but I'm gonna tell you what happened. After she got used to the video, what happened after that was she started having nightmares. She started having nightmares, okay? Like I said, we don't watch scary movies. She don't go spend time at anybody else's house to watch anything to put fear in her any kind of way. She stayed with me all the time, so I know what goes into her mind, what I feed my daughter's eyes and what I say to her or what others say to her and present to her. She started having nightmares. She started being afraid to walk down the hallways. She would stand in the hallway sometimes and just scream and point down the hallway as if she sees something and nothing's there. And that freaked me out for a 2-year-old at the time. And so what I did was, even though I prayed about it, I would watch the video again with my oldest while my baby would be asleep. And we would point out more demonic things in there. Not assuming, we mean straight out demonic. Like if I had a family member in the image in New Orleans that took a picture right next to a demon image or statue or something that was there that was demonic face and everything, and like, ooh, okay, that's freaky, really, and other things, a lot of other things, and we looked at the thing, we examined the things that my baby girl would be afraid of, and we found a lot of reasons why, without just assuming anything. And I said, you know what, it's plenty enough in here, I need to throw it away. So that's what I did. I went on ahead and took it, broke it, and threw it away. And then when my baby girl went back to watch it again, that was another scary thing. After she was having nightmares and stuff often and screaming in the hallway, like she was too scared to come to me, to the next room, as if something was blocking her from coming to me to the other room. But she was pointing the hallway towards my way as if something's there. She can't go past it to get to me. It was strange. At that time, she do that no more. We prayed, denounced those spirits, and cleansed the house and all. She don't have that issue anymore. She don't have the nightmares anymore. Better yet, she laughs and smiles in her sleep. I love that. She sounds like she sleeps peacefully, in the middle of the night. If anything, if there's a problem, it only has to do with normal things, like getting into a fight with her big sister over a toy or something, or a book, which they really don't have toys, but over a book or a educational, learning toy, Other than that, anything else? No. So I broke the disc and I threw it away. I didn't tell my mom that I threw it away, but of course eventually she probably figured I did, or asked me about it. But I did it for the safety of us and my daughter. She's young, and I've been told growing up by my elders about babies. When they come into this world, babies are sensitive to the spiritual realm and how they can sense. They easily can sense what's going on around them. They're more connected spiritually than we are. When we grow, as we grow, we become more aware of what's going on around us, and we learn the things that our parents and others teach us. So we become more in tune with, the way of the world. I don't really know how to explain that, to point out how that is, but I didn't always believe that. I heard, but I didn't always believe it until my baby girl. And then I started seeing that through my baby girl. She pointed a lot of things out. But I do want to say this. This is how children end up talking to, connecting, yoking with demonic spirits. This is how we introduce our kids. Shh. We introduce our kids into these rituals, these demonic rituals, not healthy rituals of the Most High, but these demonic rituals, passing them through the fire, connecting them to demonic spirits, asking those demons to grant us wishes and blow out the fire and all. And then we're opening portals, inviting demonic spirits to come in. We end up allowing those demons to attach to our children. And then we do it the following year again. We repeat the same thing. And then we do it again the same way. We wonder why kids act out the way that they do. And we think that it's common. We do. I mean, say it is common, but we think it's normal. And what's common isn't always normal, okay? It isn't always natural, all right? So we need to be careful with that, because kids can grow up and start experiencing other things because they're most vulnerable to the spiritual realm at a very young age. Then they start hearing voices, or they start being, influenced by demonic spirits, and they have toys that they love the most, or they start having imaginary friends, and they start being attached to these things, and they start talking to imaginary people or persons or animal or whatever. And we should never ever allow that to be. I'm talking. We should never ever allow that to be. When it becomes that way, no matter how old the child is, from age 1 and up, we should still talk to them anyway. Ask them questions. Interact with them, but don't interact as if it's okay, like you're joining in to do what they're doing. But at least examine and see where the child's mind is, when they are doing these things, and how often. Because if you know that this is not of Yah to have such thing and to imagine such thing, Sinai, I'm talking. To have such things, we should be careful with that. We should make sure that we keep our children safe. When I say safe, meaning teach them what they should know. And don't let anyone else badly influence your child, put anything in their mind, or have subliminal images in their head from scary movies or movies that are not appropriate for kids, or things, shown to them or presented to them that's not, that they shouldn't be introduced to. Games, toys, whatever in particular. Demons do attach to these things. They do, and I experienced that. I'm speaking from my experiences, not from watching other people's videos telling me these things. I'm speaking of this because these things I never thought I would ever experience. I didn't believe in demons a long time ago. I did believe in a devil, but I didn't study the so-called Old Testament to confirm, anything that I was, skeptical about. I really didn't. So I just believed in what I was taught only, and I was limited. I was limited to my belief and understanding, and I was looking for answers in all the wrong places. And a lot of times when we do that, we mislead ourselves and we mislead our children, and we continue to follow traditions. And then we bring our children into these rituals and these things that we believe in, and then they grow up and we end up possessing the same characteristics or attitudes and stuff like that. So we have to be very cautious of what we get ourselves into and introduce to our children. Um, Listen to your children. It don't matter if they're 1 year old or 5 or 7, or it doesn't matter, especially at a young age, 1 and 2 years old. They do tend to create imaginary friends. Most of them do. And then they tell them things, and they stay with them all their lives until they're an adult, because they never done away with those demonic spirits. They never denounced them. And then they get into deeper spiritual things that's not of the Most High, which is very dangerous and cause all kinds of illnesses upon you and your family. These things are serious, and I want you to know these things. I hope that this message do help someone out, as many other people that share their testimonies with me helped me when I was looking for answers why these things were happening to me and my children. This is why I ask these questions or seeked out for others also, to see if anybody else experienced anything similar to what I'm experiencing. Even though the scripture does confirm what goes on, a lot of times we need to reach out to others too, so we can talk with others and see how, other people may have testimonies to help you pull through some things as well, because some of us could be having some tough times with our children, um, um, having demons attached to them and having different attitudes and characteristics and multiple personalities and all this kind of stuff, and they think it's normal, or gays. Some think they're born that way and they wasn't. I mean, all these things come about. What does that have to do with birthdays? You open a portal, you open a gateway. There's many ways of doing it, but we do this to our child age 1 year old. We introduce it to them, and then before they can come to understanding, they already got demons attached to them, telling them things and introducing them to things and coming up with these different ideas. And then those children grow up thinking that it was always that way since they were born. And then they feel like there's no other way of changing that. We want to be careful what we introduce our children into. All right. Good night.